Pittsburgh Today Live. I'm Christine Sorensen, and I am outside because with this busy holiday shopping season, you know, you've got all your bags, you've got your purse, you got a lot of money on you. You've got to be careful of thieves and people who might be trying to take advantage of you. In just a little bit, we're going to talk about how to stay safe when you're out in the parking lots and you're out shopping out and about. Also, we're going to show you how to keep your pets safe during Thanksgiving. Dr. Mike Hutchin is here with safe holiday travel methods and how to keep pets calm with a house full of guests. Also, how to avoid some other holiday hazards. Plus, we'll get some smart strategies for not stuffing yourself like a turkey at Thanksgiving. Ideas to help you stay in control before, during, and after the Thanksgiving dinner with Mary Vogliano of Weight Watchers. And if litter really bugs you, you're going to want to hear about the litter hotline. Stay with us for that and much more ahead this hour. But first, we're talking about personal safety while you're out shopping. This morning, Sam Rosenberg, president of INPAX, the Academy of Personal Protection, is here to give us some advice. Good to see you.
Good to see you again. How are you, Christine?
Good. Do you see a lot more incidents this time of year when people are out shopping and out at the stores?
Yeah, you do see an uptick. I mean, obviously, you know, when people are encumbered with packages and with their kids and the hustle bustle of holiday season, you know, you do see a certain increase in vulnerability. So bad guys tend to want to take advantage of that.
So you've got some great advice on how people can avoid becoming a victim.
Yeah.
So first of all, what kind of situations do you see when people are out at their cars and maybe their hands are full with packages and they're, you know, not thinking about it? What kind of incidents do you see?
Well, one of the most important things is obviously, you know, when you're thinking about what's vulnerable. I mean, you've got to understand first and foremost the mind of a bad guy. Okay. Even the most desperate predator is careful in how they select their prey. So the idea is that these things are not random. And you know, when bad guys are looking for opportunities to target someone, they're looking for someone who's not paying attention and someone who basically is an easy or vulnerable target. So when you're approaching your car with your hands full of packages and you're really just focused on getting out of the parking lot, getting back to your family, that can be a dangerous time. So the best way to protect yourself is always, we call it the 3 Ds when we're teaching our personal security program. The first thing is deny opportunity. If you can't deny it, then you deter it. And if you can't deter it, then you have to be prepared to defend yourself.
Okay, those are the 3 Ds. Deny, deter, defend.
Exactly.
Okay.
And denying opportunity, really the most important thing about that is your situational awareness. So obviously we want to avoid putting ourselves in bad positions. So you don't want to go down the dark alleys. You want to lock your doors at night, take your keys out of your car. But fundamentally, when you're loaded down with holiday shopping, you want to make sure when you're approaching the car that you observe around it first and foremost.
How do you do that? What do I do?
Well, first thing is when you're approaching the car, for example, Christine, if we come back over here, you know, before you ever get near the car, you want to be able to see what's around it. So most people are so fixated on just getting the door open and getting their
or like
packages
me trying to find my car. Where did I leave that car?
Or find your keys, you know.
Yes, you're right. You're digging in your purse.
Exactly.
Right.
You know,
So
have some observation skills in advance. So in other words, as you're approaching the car, don't get tunnel visioned on the vehicle. Okay. Look around, see if there's anybody lurking around. If someone starts to follow you out of the store or approach you, go back in the store and ask for an escort. You know, the idea
I never thought of that. They have escorts who will walk you to the car?
Typically, yeah, especially at the malls during holiday times. You know, this is something that, you know, you don't have to be afraid that you're going to be victimized all the time, but having good situational awareness skills and good defensive skills is just a daily part of life.
Okay, good. Then what?
So the idea is that when you're getting into your car, you know, one of the dynamics here is that your situational awareness doesn't change once you open the car and you put the packages in. You know, the concept here, especially if you've got kids, you know, it's kind of like a Chinese fire drill, you know, trying to get the kids in the car and get them strapped in. You know, you have to pay a little bit of attention, okay? You know, there are rare situations when, like we had just a few years ago on Fox Chapel, if you remember, a woman was held, you know, a guy jumped in the back seat of the car and put her baby, who was in the car seat, to a knife, and said, drive. That ended up in a really tragic situation. The thing is that, you know, you can't avoid all of those scenarios entirely, but what you can do to try and protect yourself is basically, once you get everything in the car, the kids in the car, lock the doors immediately. Even if you have to make phone calls or you have to get yourself organized, get the car secured and locked down.
Great. Okay, so that's
the first D, deny opportunity.
Deny opportunity. Okay, then defer.
Deter. So let's say you do get approached. You're in the middle of doing something. The most important thing is not to deny what's going on, or to sort of go into a denial phase of what's going on. In other words, trust your intuition. All right. The best definition of intuition to me, and we're still talking a little bit about denying opportunity, but as it transitions, the most important thing is to trust your intuition. That you know without knowing why. When you have a bad feeling, respond to it. And if you get into a situation where someone approaches you, that's right. Yeah. Someone approaches you. Very often, this could be an interview. Okay. In other words, it could be that someone's already targeted you and is now verifying whether or not you'd make a good target. So how you manage that situation is very important. And you don't want to keep focused on what you're doing per se. You want to stop that and address the situation.
Okay. So say
and body language becomes important.
Say you came up to me, what would I do then?
Well, the most important thing is, first and foremost, if you can't just leave, and let's say your kids are already strapped in, you have to address me.
So like if you have no kids in the car, you could go back to the store.
Exactly. You could close it down and move to a safe area. Or, more importantly, that may not even be the best way to address it right here, right now. The most important thing might be some body language. So, for example, showing that you have the ability to address this and not go into paralysis, not go into deer in the headlights, or to go, if I can't see him, he can't see me. The idea is to immediately address that. And body language is critical. So this means stop. Someone approaching you at that point is obviously a threat, which would then transition us into the third D, which is the defense.
And what do we do for defense then?
So really simply, put them up, Christine. Let's say someone's perfect. So say someone approaches you at this point. You have to touch. Okay? But you can't just push me away. Push me away, Christine. We're going to get into a strength contest. So what you'll do is you'll push right here to this trachea area, which is basically called your suprasternal notch. Give that a little push. Perfect. And even through sweaters, you can feel how sensitive that is.
I do.
So this sends a message in dog language. It basically says, if you come near me, you're going to get bit.
Wow.
So, in the spirit
I know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to, let you just
You're not an easy target. Exactly. Because the bad guys fundamentally are looking for an easy target. They're not looking for a difficult target. And most likely, if this is happening in a shopping mall, mall parking lot, or somewhere where there's a lot of people, you don't have to do a lot to deter it. You don't have to do a lot to defend yourself. You just have to create an opportunity for escape. So
if they say, I want your purse, can you just say, take
absolutely.
it? Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, to me, it seems worth it at that point.
Never carry anything that you can't afford to lose.
Okay.
So
that's
the packages and this purse and all this kind of stuff don't have your critical data in there. There's no property worth fighting over. What I'm worried about is personal crime. I'm worried more about, not so much someone trying to steal you or rob your purse from you, but rather try and take you somewhere with them to a secondary crime scene.
Great. Well, Sam, great advice. Thank you so much. And I know we're going to be talking with you a little bit more, so stay with us, because later this hour, Sam's going to talk with us more about women taking personal protection one step further. There's an increase in women buying guns and getting trained on how to use those. We'll tell you more about that with Sam coming up later. Also, we're going to talk about dangers for pets during the holiday. Thanks.